Salutations, amigos, and welcome back to another episode of the Tacho Show. So here we are. We have the end of another 8th raid season, and I went ahead and ran a brand new defense team this time just as a social experiment. Now, I'm already well aware of the fact that Catria balls are nowhere near as good as they used to be. In fact, I am of the opinion that they're completely on their way out the door. I don't really think you can build a successful Catria ball defense anymore, especially not in Astra season, where people are able to run Satyr, the mythic one, and also the duo one that we just recently got. As soon as one of your units is forcibly ended their action, like, it just completely disrupts your entire chain. As we see here, I've got rally skills on a bunch of my units, so we can set up in a way where we're able to really effectively use Catria's triangle attack. There's also Schism to worry about, which I have no means of removing. Maybe in the future, if we ever get a Sacred Seal for odd or even recovery, and then we can run the opposite one in the C slot on a staff-type unit, maybe then, like, Schism won't be as big as a threat to Catria balls, but it still is. So, there's not really any foolproof way you can build a Catria ball anymore, unfortunately. So, if you really want to build a successful defense, I would say go for something more so along the lines of one of the Cav lines that I've shown off before. So, what would be a good, I guess, like, here's a decent example. We've got some annoying shit like Yunaka, Ninja Sanaki, and then Gulvig, and of course Shamir, who's still pretty good with her debuff start of turn. So things like this, I would say, are more in line what you should be doing, but just to try it out, I wanted to dust off a Catria ball and see if I could get it to work. And it was okay. It didn't do the worst. We only had one loss instance where we lost Lift, which was this one here. It was a full loss, though, so we took a minus 73, and we also lost quite a couple of other fights as well, complete losses. Although I luckily had lift loss control in play, so we didn't lose too much lift there. But it had its ups and downs. Overall, we did 11 fights, and we lost, let's see here. All right, this one doesn't count because we beat 4 units, but basically 1, 2, 3, 4 losses out of 11 fights, which is a lot worse than my Cav lines typically do. Usually I'll take like 1 loss, if even that, and sometimes it's a loss with 1 or 2 units KO'd anyway. So yeah. Now, let's go ahead and break down the basis of why I ran this, and the reason why is because, of course, we got this juicy, voluptuous Harmonic hero right here. So, of course, Duo Igrene and Luis are a pretty solid unit as far as defenses go, because they are insanely offensive. They have one of the craziest weapons in terms of dealing damage here. So they're getting a quick charge on their AoE special, and then the amount of, like, true damage they're gaining here, and also, if you want, you could set them up in a way to cut DR with, like, legendary Camilla support and things like that. I am going, in fact, for the triangle attack with Catria Ball to juice them up even more. We have Maria here with Kanto control and also her miracle support. So my 2 save units have a better chance of survival. Has to be Brave Edelgard because she's one of the few melee tanks that can have a decent matchup against the Winter Edelgard, who is easily the best Gale Force unit in the game. And then this guy, Fomortis, he's just the save unit for far save because he is a mythic hero. Ideally, it would be better off to just run Byleth, but I mean, I might as well just run this guy because he gives the blessings and we can reduce lift loss a little bit. Then for the chain, we've got Triandra here with Guidance 4 and also aerial maneuvers, so she can warp wherever she wants and allow allies to warp wherever they want afterwards. Also gave her Odd Tempest there just in case she needs to move 3 spots. She does a lot of damage. Actually, she does a little bit too much damage to the point where she will oftentimes go in for an attack as opposed to going for a dance, because, like, the amount of damage that she can deal is pretty ridiculous. And then, of course, we've got King Freyr to keep the team together and provide us with protection from negative status effects and things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these defense replays and see how we did. I guess we might as well just watch all of them, but I'm not going to, like, go too in-depth here. I don't want to take up too much time on this video. We have quite a lot of videos to cover. We're in anniversary time, so quite a lot is going on with the game. All right, this guy's got a +3 Naga. We've got a +4 Thor there. +2 Legendary Edelgard, pretty old school choice for the Gale Force. Then we have Laram at +1. Unmerged Guinevere, and then a +5 Regan there. Okay. Alright, so is this guy going to fall for the first trap of this team? It looks like he is. So he's not running any safety fence, which is a big no-no. If you're not running the safety fence, I don't know why you wouldn't be. So we gain bonus movement with Maria here, which expands her reach, and it's not like the biggest trap in the world. You got to be like half asleep to fall for this one. But if you fall for it, then it ends up leading to a turn 1 trap with this defense. So I can just instantly mobilize my units and start attacking. So we can end the replay there. We already just, like, whooped that guy. All right, we'll take a look at this one next. Rain here. Okay, so he's got Brave Sorin, which is interesting because I don't think any of these units particularly want to be turned into a near save, except maybe Fiorm. All right, then we have Ratatoskr. We've got Triandra. We have Kagero, and then we have Elamine, all unmerged units. He's got a safety fence in a really awkward spot. I wouldn't put it on the corners. Even though it's very safe in the corners, you're missing out on protection on some key spots when you put it in the corners against cav lines. So I wouldn't recommend having the safety fence there. Right, so we're easily able to warp in and get a KO. His unit got stuck there. He thought Kagero would be able to cancel distant, but he probably didn't check that I had cancel control on Maria there. So that's why he got trapped. Okay, we have this guy here, the first and only instance of lift loss that we took this season. So Naffle, not running any structures at all, no safety fence, no nothing. That's the other option, I guess. If you don't want to, like, beef it to calf lines, then just don't run many structures, so you have places to hide. Ratatoskr, we have a Veil at +1. Unmerged Elamine, we got a, oh wow, +10 Brave Marth. Yeah, that's... I'm not sure if we're able to beat this guy. And he's got no quarter as well with Null C. Yeah, that's a pretty sick combo. I actually didn't consider the fact that you could nullify DR on his special now and still get Null C. So that's pretty huge for Duo Marth, honestly. And then we have Citrine to give him some buffs. And then we have Robin as well to give him another buff. Yeah, I don't think there's any way we're beating this Marth, to tell you the truth. And he's also getting Scowl support with Veil. So yeah, this is going to be a walk in the park for him. Okay, so here comes Igrene. We're setting up some rallies to get a better chance at activating our stuff. And Triandra goes in. I'm curious to know if Igrene would have actually been able to beat Marth if we danced on her there. Because I do have Hardy Bearing on her, of course, because she's an AoE type. It's hard to say. This Marth is at +10, and he's got a lot of investment here. He's getting a lot of support. So I'm not sure if Igrene would have been able to beat him if we danced, but I mean, because Triandra just does so much damage, she opted to attack instead of go for the dance there, which is very unfortunate. So I may have to do something about that. I may have to tune down the amount of damage that Triandra can do so that she goes for the dance instead of the attack. But honestly, like, I don't really see much of a point in running this type of defense anymore. So I'm just going to go back to my cav lines after this one. But I did want to give Igrene a try, so that's why I tried out this type of team. I could have also gone for an infantry line with Igrene, which was my first train of thought. But the problem with that is that I'm lacking too many of the good infantry options, like Attune Nino. I don't have her. I don't have the New Year Kvaser and things like that. So my infantry player phasers are not really the most up-to-date, unfortunately. Okay, we have a base move spell there, +5. Satyr, who is a supreme counter to Catria Balls. She just ends somebody's turn and it disrupts your entire chain of rallying and dancing and whatever. So Satyr and Duo Satyr just completely lock down these type of defenses. We got a +2 Winter Violet there. We have Ratatoskr. Then we got a +1 Ninja Zelgius, and then Gatekeeper also. Another decent counter to Catria Balls because he blocks the warp effect. And I guess Ratatoskr as well, but Ratatoskr is just not as consistent as Gatekeeper is. Alright, with his double saves, there's not going to be much we can do here, really. And of course, we're going to start attacking. We're not actually going to go for the dance, unfortunately. So that's why I probably should have used a different dancer besides Triandra. But I couldn't think of a different one to go for, so that's why I ended up just going for her. It would have to be maybe like a level 1 Triandra, because I still want the like flame effect on her weapon where we do 5 extra points of damage whenever we attack in 3 columns and 3 rows of her. But there's no real way to lower her power unless I have one of her at +1. Okay, so that was Rod, right? Okay, so let's move on to this one here. All right, this time we've got a Regan, hit and run Regan with +3. Unmerged Hinoka, a +7 Plumeria, +2 Naga, Windclawed, and then this guy here, Pern, who's actually pretty solid. +2. Yeah, Pern would be pretty good on the infantry line with Igrene. If you were able to build him up, give him like physical null follow-up or what is it? Assassin Strike or something like that. He can do pretty well with both of those things. Like, actually, Assassin Strike Pern with Legendary Camilla support might be the way to go. Because then you cut DR and you're still getting the Assassin Strike effect. So that guy could be an insane damage dealer. I'm not really sure how this guy messed up, because it seems like he's having a pretty easy time of it. But we do get a KO here, so I'm kind of curious to know where that KO came from. Oh, okay. All right, there it is. So we warped in with Edelgard. That's what happened. All right, RIP, homeboy. All right, this guy just surrendered. So we got Ratatosker at +3. Arcane Lucina, who's very good. She's like a top 5 green unit. +4 Plumeria. We got Winter Edelgard, the dreaded. Then we have a Naga at +10 and also a Regan at +3. I'm not too sure why he would have gone for Edelgard against my map, because this is a particularly tough defense for Edelgard to get through, because there's no real way for her to Gale Force. And then I don't really know what he was going for with that. He just smited in Lucina. We have Kanto control. Maybe he thought he'd be able to Kanto away, but I mean, she's only got Kanto once. She wouldn't have been able to get all the way out of the way. So that was pretty weird, but okay. All right, kill a Mario. That's not what you want to do to Mario. You want to save a Mario. +8 Thor. Oh, aerial maneuvers Thor. Pretty good. Then we've got Elamine +10. We have Idun at +7. This is a near save Idun. We've got Ashura +7. Far save Byleth, and then Guinevere. Alright, so he's going to try to tank, which, I mean, tanking is dead, guys. Don't try to tank. Just player phase. It's so easy to player phase, especially if you have Winter Edelgard. Like, you don't even have to try. I was thinking to do an offense showcase with Winter Edelgard, but all of the fights were just like so easy. It wasn't even much of a video. It wouldn't even be worth it. So I don't know, man. I still to this day have no idea why people go for bait strategies instead of just offense. I always feel bad when I'm forced to use a bait strategy too. Like, I already feel like I've lost if I have to go for a bait strategy against the defense. Like, if I can't just player phase it, I'll just give you the win, because if you found a way to successfully bait, then I think you deserve to win the fight for the most part. All right, and that didn't go very well for him, obviously. Don't try to bait. All right, we got a couple more here. Let's take a look at Rain up next. Okay, so Homeboy's got a +2 Gatekeeper. We've got Plumeria +4 with Firestorm Dance, which is very good. Ratatosker unmerged. Oh, Lucia. Ooh, Miracle Lucia +1. Yeah, Lucia is still like one of the better God Swords. She's the only one that I feel like has not aged a day since she came out, because of course she's able to just nullify activations of specials, which are very vital to a lot of units. Like, if Igrene is not able to use her special, then Lucia just tears her in half. Same goes for Windclawed. If he can't use his special, then he is so out of luck. Then we got Legendary Camilla and also Jarek for support. Yeah, I don't think we can beat this Lucia here. So this is one way that you can actually bait, and it's by using a unit as supremely good as Lucia is, who just turns off all the bullshit. When you're not able to cheat and like use pre-charged specials and nullify your DR with specials and things like that, Lucia is one of those units that's just very threatening. Okay, so we're going to go for some rally chains. Maybe if there was a way we could encroach a little further in, but he does have Gatekeeper as well to block warping. I would have to run, like, pass on somebody to get through that, but there's no way I'm running pass on any of these guys. Alright, Lucia did take a lot of damage, though. Even though she's able to do it successfully, we did beat her up quite a bit. The reason he put her over there was to avoid Triandra's chip damage from her weapon. We might have actually been able to beat Lucia if he didn't put her in the corner there, because the amount of damage Triandra adds up on her weapon is quite a lot. It does pile up and lead to KOs there. Alright, let's go on and move on to the next one. So 4K, I don't even know why this guy accepted this win. It always baffles me when I see wins with like more than 2 or 3 KOs. Like, why? Why not just pop a... You have ladders, just pop them. This guy didn't even bring the ladder, wow. Maybe he ran out of ladders and he had no choice. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Alright, so we got Elamine, we got Veil, +1, Ratatosker, +1 Byleth, Gatekeeper at +4, and then Fallen Maria. So, yet again, another guy trying to bait here. Although, I don't recommend it. Especially not if you're going to do it like this guy. Just try to bait on turn 1. If you're going to bait, then you have to be very picky about how you choose to bait. You can't just, like, outright bait like this. It just doesn't work. So, easy KO, easy clap on his unit there. And then we're able to actually use the triangle attack there to get rid of his Gatekeeper, which is pretty fire. And he keeps going for the win. I don't know if we want to, like, show the full fight here. Let's just save him the embarrassment. All right, we got 2 more to go. So, I love Ruru. This one got a win, and we have Satyr there. Anytime you see Satyr, that's just bad news for Catria Balls. So, +10 Satyr. Got a +10 Naga. We have a Plumeria at +10 as well. Pretty nice build. I would go for Firestorm Dance, but that's just me. Ooh, Bait Clawed. Okay, yeah, or Bait Crom. Yeah, this guy, he is such a stat ball that he can actually get away with stuff like this. Obviously, you would want to go for Prime 4 instead of Close Counter, but if you're on a budget, then Close Counter will get the job done all the same. And he has Tina. Interesting. Okay, so Tina can steal my bonuses on my highest bonus unit. This is the first time I've actually seen somebody use Tina, to be honest. And then we have Veil also. Yeah, Crom is going to be looking pretty good here. He's just going to put him right in harm's way right from the start. Yeah, so whose bonuses is Tina stealing here? Oh, she didn't do it yet. She does it at the start of her turn, right? It's not at the start of the enemy turn. Oh, yeah, that's a little unfortunate. It would have been cool if she could do it at the start of, like, both phases. Yeah, and here, yeah, like, Triandra just does way too much damage. She goes in for the attack almost all the time if she can. So that was one weakness that I could have probably did something about, but not really. Because all of my good dancers that have Guidance 4, all of them are pretty solid damage dealers. So I wouldn't have had any other choice regardless. Alright, and then Edelgard has no chance in hell at beating this Crom here. Yeah, Crom is so good, man. This legendary Crom, he is the oldest and best unit in the game. There's no unit ever from his time period that's still as good as he is. He's like legitimately a top... Would I call him a top 5 blue unit? Maybe like top 8, maybe like top 10. But the fact that he is from 2019 and he's still good all these years later is a testament to how busted they made him. Alright, we got one more replay to go, and then we will call it a day here, and then I have quite a lot of other videos to work on, like the Hero Rises event, which we just got dropped for the anniversary. Got to go through those, see who we want to end up adding into the Hero Rises banner. Alright, +3 Altina, unmerged Plumeria. Got a +10 Edelgard here. I'm very surprised people are running Legendary Edelgard for their Gale Force choice. It's not that she's bad or anything, but like, the winter one is just 10 times better. Alright, then +1 Satyr. Anna. So, Fetison's Bay right there. +2 Regan. Anna with the Anna sticker as well. That's very interesting. Okay, so I guess maybe Legendary Edelgard has a better matchup against near save Brave Edelgard than Winter Edelgard does. But I still don't know if I would recommend running that Edelgard as your Gale Forcer. There's just a little bit too many ways to block her. Yeah, and then we're able to actually activate our chain there. So we get our win against L. So RIP L. Can't just win with L all the time. So that pretty much covers us for this AR season. I was able to get top rewards in ranking as well as defense because we only took a -73. Pretty good. Although, could obviously be a lot better, especially if I had more merges on my mythics. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. But the main takeaway here is that Catria balls are officially dead, in my opinion. You should probably try to opt for a different style of defense. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.